The shaker peg shelf. It's going to be functional. We're going to go ahead and you're going to attach this to your wall when you're finished. It's a good way of displaying stuff and organizing stuff. Not only is it going to be functional, but it's going to look good. When we're concerned about the looks of something, the beauty of something, it's called aesthetics. All right, so what we can do is we can change the looks of our shaker peg shelf and still make it functional. We can change the shape of the end brackets. You can see we have different shapes here. We could color this differently. We're going to use pine for our project, but we can stain it to make it look like any other wood that we want. And we can also paint it. So we are concerned about its beauty, and that is its aesthetics. So what's a shaker peg? Well, right here is a shaker peg. We have different size shaker pegs. These are purchased parts. We don't need to make these. We just buy them. What we do is we could drill a hole in our project, and we put a little glue on the tenon. So this area right here is the tenon. It's the smaller peg-like portion of this peg, and we put some glue on there, and we stick the peg into the hole, which is sometimes called a mortise, and that's a type of woodworking joint. So what's a shaker? We've got lots of things around us with the name shaker in it, right? In Colony, New York, we've got our crosstown rivals from North Colony, the Shaker Bison. We've got Albany Shaker Road, the Shaker Shed, but there's also shaker names in other parts of the country. In Saco, Maine, there's the Shaker Hill Kitchens. In Cleveland, Ohio, we got the Shaker, looks like Lunch House, Shaker Boulevard, Shaker Square, Shaker Heights. So, what does shaker mean? All right, so the Shakers, the United Society of Believers in Christ's Second Appearing, otherwise known as the Shakers, is a religious sect founded on the teachings of Ann Lee. So we've heard of Ann Lee too, right? We've got the Ann Lee Pond, we've got the Ann Lee Home. In 2009, that's the last time I could find any record, there were only 3 members left of the Shakers, and they live in Maine. So in fits of ecstasy, worshippers would whirl and shake, shaking off sins. Onlookers called them shaking Quakers or Shakers. The name was not meant to be flattering, but eventually the Shakers adopted it as their own. Shakers did not marry and had a strict belief in celibacy. Shakers acquired their members through conversion and adoption of orphans. In 1960, there was a law passed that outlawed religious groups from adopting orphans. The Shakers had 20 settlements and reached a maximum size of 5,000 members. So they once had 5,000 members, and now the last time I could find, they're down to 3. So why do you think that is? Okay, first of all, they believe in celibacy, and so new people weren't born into their beliefs, their organization, their group. And also in 1960, they could no longer adopt children. There is the first Shaker settlement. Does anybody recognize that picture? All right. That Shaker community north of Albany was first called Niskayuna. We've heard of that before. Later, the town they were in was officially called Watervliet. That part of the town of Watervliet is now the town of Colony. So this is right over by the Albany Airport. It used to be called Niskayuna, and then it was called Watervliet, but now it's in the town of Colony. Over at the first Shaker settlement, right around the corner from our houses, they did lots of cool and neat stuff over there. They first developed their famous garden seed industry. Quality control, standardization of seed size, and innovative packaging of seeds, still used today, quickly led to a widely known reputation for excellence in farming operations. The shaker flat broom, several modified agricultural tools, and vacuum sealed tin cans were all invented at the Watervliet site. So before they invented the flat broom like we recognize today, brooms look like that. But this flat broom was actually invented right here in our town. Now let's look at their beliefs and practices and think about how they align with maybe our beliefs and practices today. The Shakers were dedicated to hard work and strove for perfection. Well, those are things that I think are still important today. Ann Lee, a quote from Ann Lee: "Do your work as though you had 1,000 years to live and as if you were to die tomorrow." So work hard. They lived quiet, simple, and honest lives and sought a utopian society. We definitely still value being honest. They believed in equality of the sexes. So way back when, they believed in this equality, and we're probably still fighting for that today. Think about the leader of this group was a woman. They believed in eating good, healthy, and wholesome foods. Yeah, that's something I think we still try and believe in, although it's hard to do. And right around the corner from us, we have a store called Whole Foods, Wholesome Foods. They were frugal and were cautioned not to go into debt. What does frugal mean? Frugal means you're not wasteful with money or food. They didn't waste. They believed in making products that were plain, durable, and functional. So they were not really concerned about what they looked like, but made sure that they worked good and would last. Again, things that were still valued today, although we like a little more pizzazz or zing. We like things to look good also. They believed in convenience and efficiency, right? Trying to make things easy. They also believed in cleanliness. A quote from Ann Lee: "Good spirits will not live where there is dirt." Ann Lee. The women cleaned up and swept the floor after every meal, and it's easier to clean and sweep with little clutter around. So they hung everything up so that it was out of the way but still accessible. So you can see here we've got chairs hanging upside down in on these pegs that line the rooms of their houses. Also think about this: they hung them upside down. So maybe if there was crumbs or something on the chair, the crumbs would fall on the ground and it would be quickly swept up because they swept up after every meal. So if they're going to hang everything up so it was easy to sweep, they needed lots of pegs to line the room. When things weren't being used, they were hung up. And we know the answer to the upside down chair is that maybe the crumbs and stuff would fall off and fall into the floor. So here's a modern day picture of a possible shaker room, and you can see the line of pegs going all the way around the room. Here they have the chairs hung up. Here they have some kitchen tools hung up, a flat broom. Definitely a modern day picture of a shaker room because we've got leather riding apparel, motorcycle helmet, but check out the shoes. The shoes are hung up. I don't know if that's really what the Shakers did or not, but in those pictures, we seen pictures of chairs that look like this. Maybe you've seen chairs like this before. These are called ladder back chairs. Um, Again, the Shakers invented these. These were not invented at the colony site, but not far from here in New Lebanon, New York. So they were awarded an award because of the strength. So we have a really lightweight chair that's pretty decent, pretty good looking, and it's strong. And finally, we have a style of furniture, the Shaker style of furniture. Um, It's kind of a plain style, kind of simplistic, but it's functional and it's of high quality. So now we know a little bit more about the shakers.